Whether you're about to start graduate school or you're just curious about what the experience is like, you've come to the right place. I've been through it. I've got a master's and 2 PhDs. So let me tell you, grad school is unique and it's a transformative journey. There are lots of things I wish someone had told me before I started. Maybe you're in the same boat. You're wondering, what should I know before I start? Well, I'm going to share this with you now. I'm going to share the lessons I learned along the way, things that could help you to not only survive, but thrive during your time in grad school. Because after all, it's all about thriving in this new world that you want to enter into. So one of the first things I learned is that grad school isn't about working non-stop. It's about pacing yourself for the long haul. Whether you're in a 1-year master's program or a 5-year PhD, burnout is a real risk if you don't take care of yourself. Set boundaries for your work, designate specific times for research and specific times for rest or hobbies, and trust me, your future self will thank you. During my first PhD, I pushed myself so hard in the first year. I was almost convinced that I could finish the PhD within 18 months, and I was really going all I had to do that. Once I learned to take breaks and manage my workload, I became more productive and genuinely felt much happier during the research process. It's important to know how to pace yourself. A marathon, not a sprint. Your relationship with advisors, peers, and even administrators can really make or break your grad school experience. Seek out mentors who support your goals and build a network of peers who can offer advice, collaboration, or even just a listening ear. Relationships matter more than you think. And don't hesitate to switch advisors or seek additional mentors if you feel unsupported. Your success often depends on having the right guidance. I know for my first PhD, I started out with one particular mentor and then switched to another track because it was the best fit for me. And it was a great decision. It made sense for me. And it certainly resulted in what I think was a more productive and better fit for my research experience. So be very mindful of relationships and do your very best to pick the right people to help you get to where it is that you want to get to. Now, you will not always feel like the smartest person in the room, even if you're doing something that other people from outside, your family and friends have told you, wow, that seems incredibly smart. We're not always going to be the smartest people in the room, no matter what. That's just a life lesson, and that's completely okay. But one of the big issues is imposter syndrome. This is a common experience in grad school. I had colleagues and friends that had this issue as well. You might feel like you don't belong, or like everyone else is smarter than you. But here's the truth. You're accepted for a reason, and you absolutely belong. Do not feel that you don't belong. Remember, grad school isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning how to ask the right questions and solve problems. So don't feel intimidated and don't feel like you don't belong. Settle in because you're there for a reason and you deserve to be there. In grad school, it's really easy to equate your worth to how much work you're producing. Papers, experiments, presentations, conferences you're attending, etc. But productivity isn't the only measure of success. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come during periods of reflection. Or even failure, things you didn't expect might reveal things you hadn't anticipated and give you new lines of inquiry that were actually very worth pursuing. So focus on quality and not just quantity. And don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working. I know during my second PhD that I had one particular design in mind for how I was going to carry the experimentation, but I had to pivot because I had no choice but to pivot because of some restrictions on available facilities. Now, that might seem like an insurmountable challenge, but ultimately it was a great idea and it led to research that was even more engaging and more fascinating. So being aware that quantity is not better than quality, picking the right thing will always make sense. One of the most important lessons as well that I learned is the value of self-advocacy. Whether it's negotiating funding, setting boundaries with an advisor, asking for extensions when needed, speaking up for yourself is crucial. You need to know how to voice what you need. Nobody else can do it for you. So learn to advocate for yourself. Academia is a very competitive environment, so knowing how to speak up for yourself and what you need is a very important skill to pick up. Now, it's kind of easy to think of grad school as separate from the real world. It's this different world, right? Truth is, your time in grad school is directly connected to your future career. Build skills, network, and think about how you can work to translate beyond academia. I mean, maybe you want to stay in academia, that's fine. If you decide that you want to continue research, do postdoctoral research, you want to become a professor, whatever it may be. But if you do want to pursue a professional career afterwards, think about that early. Look for opportunities to present your work at conferences, publish papers, or connect with professionals in your field depending on what your intentions are. But these experiences will serve you well, whether you stay in academia or pursue another path. But the real world is much closer than you think. Grad school isn't a different world, it's a temporary bubble, so be prepared for what happens afterwards. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, take care of yourself. Prioritize your mental and physical health. Grad school is demanding and can be grueling, but it shouldn't come at the cost of your well-being. Find an activity that helps you recharge, whether it's exercise, maybe like meditation, spending time with friends, whatever it is that makes you feel better, make sure you find the time for it. Don't lose yourself as you take on this new journey. And don't hesitate to seek any professional support if you did need it. It isn't uncommon. So grad school is challenging, it's exciting, and it is transformative. But while it's not always easy, with the right mindset and support, it can be one of the most rewarding times of your life. So I hope you found this video helpful. Feel free to check out the others on our channel for tips on how to navigate the grad school process. And if you're already in grad school, if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Best of luck on your grad school journey. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.